Are we doing sports? Yeah, we're kind of doing sports. Do you see Hunter Hess, bend skier, whatever the hell that means, being asked questions about his allegiance to the satanic regime of the United States, the great Satan abroad?
Well, while American athletes got an enthusiastic welcome at the opening ceremony, there were jeers and boos when Vice President J.D. Vance and his wife appeared on camera.
You guys see the pictures of how Jake Paul was sitting in between JD and Usha Vance? I couldn't believe it. I thought it was AI at first. It was the funniest thing I'd ever seen in my life, dude. It's real. I know Usha and JD don't really like each other. I get it. They're all evil people. I get it. But why would you do this? You're at the Olympics. Everything is being watched by everyone. Do you not know what this looks like? Why wouldn't JD and Jake Paul just switch seats? It defies reason. Was it a ticket thing? It's not a ticket thing. For one, they can swap seats between them. Also, he's the vice president of the United States. He can do whatever he wants. It's not. It just for some bizarre. I do not understand it. It's like sometimes I feel like the people in this administration are like playing into it as part of some sick joke for us all to like. We watch this and we're like, how the did they ever get elected in the first place with optical awareness like this, you know? How do they do it? Is it true JD Vance brought his own food from the United States? I don't know. Is that real? He's taking American food to Italy. Kind of based. It is kind of based, yeah. Spending $23 million in taxpayer dollars, bringing an extra flight of like Kraft mac and cheese singles, you know, like in a military transport plane, just so that you and your boys are fully supplied. You don't have to be corrupted by Italian food. The seasoning, none of that shit here. Okay, we're living off of our own rations, but Italian food is good. That's the joke. That's really funny. JD Vance did bring a huge motorcade with him. Sorry, none of this is related to the comments made by the athlete, but if I'm going to like make fun of the administration, I might as well pile it in. Here's a guy behind a news broadcaster at NBC holding up saying JD Vance fucks couches. That's funny. Is that at the Olympics? I have no idea. It's just I saw it while scrolling. It's funny to look at, you know. Yeah, they brought over like 20 armored cars. You have to understand, really difficult to navigate in the area, like logistically accommodating 20 armored SUVs around the Olympics. You know, like so many of these streets are shut down, and just like finding the space, like the roads are really narrow. Like in Italy, look at this. Are these even legal in Italy? It's the Olympics and we're the American delegation. Law doesn't really have much to do with it. They are literally like wider than the lanes though. American cars are ridiculously inefficient. Well, it's not just that they're American cars. They're American armored cars. They're the armored convoy for the vice president. So it's not just that they're American cars. They have like 3 inches of steel on both sides. You know, that's the whole point of them. They're mechas. Yeah. Do they need this many? No. What the dude, what? Can we drive? Hello? Who hopped up on that mozzarella? Why? What the are you doing? Are they texting? Okay, sure. How long does this go on for? Quite a while. Okay, great. Phenomenal. Excellent, wonderful. In addition to all of that brilliant stuff, let me get back to the actual thing that I was talking about.
Support for the U.S. has been eroding due to the Trump administration's aggressive foreign policy. Today, freestyle skier Hunter Hess, who's from Bend, spoke about his feelings representing Team USA.
It brings up mixed emotions to represent the U.S. right now, I think. It's a little hard. There's obviously a lot going on that I'm not the biggest fan of, and I think a lot.
He was basically asked how it feels representing, or like if he feels he represents the United States. For me, I think this is a really easy answer, okay? The Olympics has always been political. I think the cleanest answer is just, I represent the people of the United States, not its government. I don't expect these athletes to go out on a limb being activists unless they want to be. I think that's a fine thing to say. You know, you don't need to like put out on a limb or whatever. I think his answer was a bit more awkward, but also these are athletes, not like professional activists. They dedicate like every waking moment of their lives to getting really good at some asinine physical activity. I don't expect them to, in addition to that, also be like super compelling, you know, political speakers.
A lot of people aren't. I think for me, it's more I'm representing my like friends and family back home, the people that represent it before me, all the things that I believe are good about the U.S. I just think if it aligns with my moral values, I feel like I'm representing it. Just because I'm wearing the flag doesn't mean I represent everything that's going on in the U.S. So yeah, I just kind of want to do it for my friends and my family and the people that support me getting here.
It's sweet. You know, I don't have an issue with it. Anyway, naturally, Trump very presidentially responded to our delegation at the Olympics. U.S. Olympic skier Hunter Hess, a real loser, says he doesn't represent his country in the current Winter Olympics. If that's the case, he shouldn't have tried out for the team, and it's too bad he's on it. Very hard to root for somebody like this. Make America great again. I don't think I've ever, maybe this happened back in Trump's previous terms. I can't remember a president ever beefing with a member of the Olympic delegation before. I can't remember that. Maybe it's happened before. It's just, it's not good. Not gonna lie, for an athlete and a Winter Olympics answer, they've been pretty critical of the USA. Well, everyone hates us, obviously. And just judging by polling, a majority of the athletes do too. They just, I mean, if you just like a representative slice of the United States, you would have to assume that a lot of the athletes are there too. But again, like this is, I think in a way it's representative of the right being upset about the fact that they for a brief moment had and then immediately lost cultural dominance. Remember that the Cruel Kids table that was at Vanity Fair? No, not Vanity Fair. It was, what was the magazine that put that one out? The idea that right after Trump's victory in the presidential election, there was this window of time where it felt like anti-woke was going to eclipse the world, but it fell through almost immediately. Atlantic or NYT, probably the Atlantic. The New York Times would never. I don't think. It stalled. Well, the big death knell for it was Charlie Kirk getting kirked, right? But also I think like to a larger extent. The right basically speed ran what the left did with Woke One, which was people came to associate it primarily with browbeating and with shaming, you know? Like, rather than having any project for aspirational behavior, the right was mostly interested in talking down to everyone who did anything they didn't like, right? Very censorious, very overbearing, very Zionist, basically. They acted the same way the Zionists do, which is like, they're not trying to convince you that they're right because they have no aspirations for a better world. They don't think they should have to convince you. They think they're owed your allegiance just by virtue of, you know, them being the ones who won. They have the power. Might makes right. I mean, to an extent, Woke One kind of ran down this path a little bit, not in exactly the same way, but in more of the like, when we think of how the left behaved in like 2015, we mostly think of people being annoying online and insincere attempts by Democratic politicians to kowtow to it, you know, like Nancy Pelosi with the Kent the Cloth, that kind of stuff, right? I think that it wasn't very aspirational, right? It wasn't very constructive. Again, I'm not comparing Trump 2 with Woke 1. Obviously very different things. I'm only talking about public perception and like how it feels to have cultural dominance. Because cultural dominance is a funny thing, right? It's very, very difficult to both be in charge and also be cool. Usually those two things are opposites. And that was the problem that the right had, where like the right exists by being angry at shit all the time. Every day there needs to be some new thing to be outraged over. And it's just much more difficult to maintain that when you're the one in charge. So like with Trump right now, there is a huge difference between criticizing, an Olympic athlete when you're not the president and you think they've said something objectionable versus doing it as the president. If you're not the president, at least you have the benefit of not having like the auspices of your station kind of requiring you to be a little bit civilized, you know, but now it just comes across as crass. Probably even to the MAGA movement, 16K likes for something that's 4 hours old. That's not a lot. It's really tough to maintain cultural dominance when all you really have to offer people is screaming at them for not doing exactly what you want them to. A couple days ago, I asked if you're afraid Trump might not let the elections go fairly. You said Trump doesn't have the power to do that. After recent statements related to ICE guarding election booths, do you still think it won't happen? Yeah, I mean, I think they'll try. I don't think they'll succeed. I do not think that they will be able to do what they want to do. Like, again, think of it this way, okay? The administration has lost a considerable amount of influence, power, and to an extent money over the presence of just a couple thousand ICE guards in Minneapolis. Not guards, I mean like ICE agents in Minneapolis. You have any idea how many people it would take to meaningfully suppress voting across the US? There are thousands and thousands of polling places. And you're going to give all of these thugs instructions to like what? Pick out brown people? Like what are you going to tell them to do? And they're going to be there with no backup? That's the big scary thing for them, right? Like what are they supposed to do? Just two of them? They have no legal authority there. What happens if there's like 100 or 200 or 400 people there at the voting booth all waiting for the doors to open, you know? Angry, naturalized citizens and voters, Democrats or whatever. What the are they going to do to stop those people? I have no doubt that they are going to engage in mass disenfranchisement, voter roll purges stuff. They've always done that. But I do not think the Trump administration has the ability to like stop the election from happening or prevent the wave that's coming. They'll still cheat. There are over 120,000 polling stations. Damn, over 100,000. I thought it'd be in the tens of thousands. Over 100,000. God damn. The SAVE Act is pretty scary. One last thing. Keep in mind that if the Republicans actually do mandate, and they can't do this before the midterms, it's not happening. But if they actually do mandate that you need to have a passport in order to vote, instant, infinite mandate for Democrats. It would be like having a literacy test. Oh, you mean only the people with the education and wealth to have left the country at some point in their life get to vote? Who you think the average Appalachian hick is going out there for a trip to Japan? No, buddy. The SAVE Act is not going to happen before the midterms. I'm just saying that, like, so we want that. I'm in favor of anything that disenfranchises Republicans at this point. I would be aggressively in favor of wildly undemocratic reforms if it disenfranchised them. Yeah. Not aura farming. I 100% believe this is necessary to save the Republic, yeah. Sorry, you need a GED to vote now? You got to pitch this to the Republicans. In order to ensure that only purebred, best stock, high IQ Americans can vote, you now need, at the very least, an associate's degree. Buddy, we're going to be winning supermajorities in the Mississippi State House, okay? Did you see there's an open investigation into whether or not ski jumpers are using penis enlargement injections to gain more distance and jump the Olympics? Yeah, I saw this. I've investigated it thoroughly. Maybe I should get into ski jumping. It is super based. Basically, the idea is that ski suits can't be too baggy because if they are, they catch too much wind and you go too far. So they have to be basically skin tight. And there's an investigation that some people might be juicing up their dicks and like inflating them by injecting saline or whatever, which makes their dicks larger, which means that the elastic at the bottom of the wingsuit can be expanded downwards an inch or two, which means that there's more material to catch the wind. This is what sports should be about. That seems so marginal. I mean, apparently it can increase your distance by like 10 feet or something. Wait, that's actually real? Yes, I'm not. Yeah, no, I was being serious. Everything I said was true. Except it's not saline. Sorry, it's hyaluronic acid. I don't know how that works. Fascinating stuff. You think you could get your suit to be larger by like being erect during the measurement? Wait, what about trans women? Are there like trans women ski jumpers who unironically do get a biological advantage because having a penis means that you can extend the suit down like a couple of inches? Like that would actually be like an advantage. We finally found like the transphobic talking point that has some kick to it, you know? I'm not woke anymore. Yeah, we should do a culture war over this. Phallic aerofoil. Wouldn't breasts cause more of that? No, because you're gliding down like with your belly facing the ground, so having breasts wouldn't increase your surface area of your suit like relative to the like wingspan, you know? Did you see the queer figure skater using her platform to talk about politics? Oh wow, the figure skater is gay and woke. How brave. I'm sorry. It is good. It is good.
As a community and try and fight for our human rights. And now, especially, it's not just affecting the queer community, but many other communities. And I think that we are able to support each other in a way that we didn't have to before. And because of that, it's made us a lot stronger. I hope I can use my platform and my voice throughout these games to try and encourage people to stay strong in these hard times. I know that a lot of people say, you're just an athlete, like stick to your job, shut up about politics, but politics affect us all. It is something that I will not just be quiet about because it is something that affects us in our everyday lives.
Well, I think that's nice. All we need now is for the Seahawks to win, for a perfect... We're going to get like the woke event trifecta between the Super Bowl, the Olympics, and... Well, the Super Bowl, the match, and then the halftime show, and then the Olympics, you know? Oh, the Grammys, yeah. Why are the Seahawks the woke team, by the way? Because they come from Seattle, and the Patriots are the team that the Trumps like, and also the Patriots team is owned by a billionaire Trump supporter. So, you know. Also, they're called the Patriots.